We just finished our round. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're not as happy, but here's the deal. If we will judge ourselves by accomplishing our goal, and we did accomplish our goal to put our mind in position to score, then we're going to be okay. Golf is up and down, it's challenging, but more times than not, we'll play closer to our potential or above our potential if we put our mind in position. But game day is over, and now it's really important. This is some of the most important things because you've got to learn something and imprint something from that round that helps build this foundation of a career so that each time you play in a tournament, you learn something. So the first thing as we come out, I want you to do this. In my book, The Psychology of Tournament Golf, I've got a whole section at the back that's called the journal section where you journal your journey of tournament golf. There's 2 entries back there that I want you to enter. If you don't have the book, you can just get a journal and start doing this. But the first one is greatest shots entry. After every tournament, or every day of a tournament, I want you to write down the 3 best shots you hit. I want you to create the situation, the feeling, the emotion, what you were thinking as you hit the shot, what it felt like, smelled like, tasted like. I want you to be able to have that imprinted in your brain so deeply that you can go and repeat that at some point in the future. It's called the greatest shots round. And before you play in a tournament, it's a great thing to review so you know there's talent in there. You know you can play well. You've seen the zone. You've seen the shots. You've seen great things happen. Find 3 a day at least that you put down there. If there's 4 or 5, go ahead. There's no rules here. I remember Steve Lowry when he played in, I believe it was 94, 95 at the Castle Pines tournament that he needed a mathematical miracle to sort of win the golf tournament or to get in a playoff. And on 17, he was 206 yards from a par 5. And you can remember as the microphone was there, you could hear them talk, and he talked to his caddy, and the first thing he said was déjà vu, meaning that he had been there before. 8 years earlier, he had won that tournament by an amazing shot for an eagle on that hole, number 17 at Castle Pines, where he had hit a 5-iron from 206. He was right by the marker. He found himself there again as he looked at his caddy, he's calling his shot. First thing he said was déjà vu. And then he said 6-iron instead of a 5. The equipment's changed a little bit. He pulls a 6-iron, and as he hits it, his caddy can't even hardly respond as he watches the ball fly through the air, do exactly what he said it was going to do. Hits on the green, checks up, and falls in the hole for a double eagle. And I asked him later after the tournament, I said, Steve, what were you thinking over that shot? He said it was easy. I was recalling the shot from 8 years before. The most powerful tool in golf is to recall shots. How can we recall shots if we don't take the time to savor those moments, to write it out, to experience it again in our mind, and to imprint it deeply so when we need to and bring it up, we're able to do it? The first thing is greatest shots. Put it in the journal. The second thing is now it's called the mental toughness journal. There are things that happen on the golf course and often in a golf tournament we didn't respond well in certain situations. Now we can go back to that scorecard where we were keeping accounting of our commitment to our goal. Each hole, as I put my outcome score, I also put that concentration score. And as I go back through that scorecard following the round, I am now able to identify the places along the day where I didn't go through my routine for whatever reason. Maybe we were put on the clock and I felt hurried. Maybe it was the first tee and, I was getting my card and everything, and things were moving so fast I just hit my shot. Or maybe I was angry after a 3-putt and went up and just swung as hard as I could on the next tee. Whatever took you out of your game, it's on the card because you kept score of it that day. Find those places where your outcome and your concentration score didn't match and begin to find out what was the situation, what kept me from thinking and accomplishing the goal that I said was what I was going to do during the day. What was it that held me back? What stole my concentration? What took me out of my game? And in that mental toughness journal, you have 3 columns. The first column is a situation. What was the situation? The second column was, what was my negative response? And then the third column, the beautiful column, is my mental toughness response next time. The next time I have that situation, instead of responding like this, I'm going to choose to think and define the situation in such a way that I have a chance at that moment in time to be successful. I will accomplish my goal. I will go immediately into the see it, feel it, trust it process because I know that's my goal. And as you work through that mental toughness journal, day in and day out from tournament play, the night before you can go read that, you can cover up the first 2 columns, and then you're going to see responses. Credible, great responses to realities of the game of golf that are going to imprint in your mind. And so the next day when you have the 3 challenges, you're going to say, you know, rather than at the end of the day having to make another mental toughness response entry, I'm going to make the choice right now in this situation where I want to think negatively. I'm going to make the choice right now to think in such a way to open my potential. I'm going to see, feel, and trust right now. I'm going to commit to my words and my symbols that are out there in front of me, coaching me at this moment in time. I will not give in. I will not give in to pressure. I will not give in to distraction. I will not give in to interference of any kind or intimidation, because I know I have control. I will think well over every shot. And finally, and this is extremely important, when you play in a tournament, you are playing in this bubble. You are in a self-absorbed bubble all day long, participating and playing. Hopefully you can see outside of that and you can encourage people around you while you do it. But at the end of the day, after you put that entry in for greatest shots, after you've worked on the mental toughness journal, you know what it's time to do? It's time to leave golf at the golf course. And the best way to do that is, as you leave the golf course, think of something you can do for someone else. Make that your goal when you leave the golf course. I'm going to do something for someone else. We have to get out of ourselves. I do this with tour players, and it's extremely important for them to get out of themselves at the end of the day. When you give, you live. It gives you life. Leave it at the course, and you'll be great.